hear me more. When you become part of truly of the family of God, it goes above the ceremonies. It goes above making sure things are. It goes above the aspect of if things don't go right, it's like we're just going to lose the Spirit of God. If things don't seem the way they should seem, all of a sudden, where's your belief at? We were part of this thing this weekend. We went down to in Concord. And I love what God truly uses to speak and to open minds up and stuff. And we went down there. I didn't get to stay the whole weekend because I had a previous commitment up here. But one thing that I've rationalized in doing this, and it was said a couple of different times throughout the thing, because we as people, there's one thing that we're looking for if you're a true believer and lover of God. There's one thing you're looking for. And it's not the ritual way in order to stand before God. It's not the different aspects, or one guy said something about the knowledge. He sits there and says, you have the knowledge, but not the relationship in order to use the knowledge. I can sit up here and teach knowledge, but if you don't have the relationship to use the knowledge, it's just there. It's just physical. It's just the words that are in your head. And one thing that I know Ron teaches this an aspect too, when he's into the court system we talked about, but we always talk the aspect of relationship in going in. It's not the fact that we go into the courtroom, but it's the relationship in which we have, oh God, give me goosebumps here. It's the relationship in which we have with the person we're standing in front of that allows us to be able to do what we are called to do. Does that make sense? So the fact of it is I don't care how many seminars we go to or how deep the speaker is, because I mean, I listen to some pretty deep guys. I mean, some guys that blow my mind to a point that I'm like, wow, is that truly possible in God to do? The realization of what they're saying, it to me was like, wow, that's what that Ron file, later on. But it all boils down to the aspect of what kind of relationship we have. But we, in turn, don't know what a true relationship with God is. This is not my part of this. This is something we have to understand before I go any farther. Because we don't understand what true relationship is. We don't. Because here on earth, it's so easy to leave a relationship. It really is. We get married, we have disagreements, arguments, we're getting a divorce. No big deal, we'll just leave, we'll call it quits. Hey, nice to know you. Hey, we're good to go. Or even friendships. We have, don't get me wrong, there are going to be those friendships you're going to have to leave behind. I'm not talking about that, but we don't understand what true love and relationship have to do. Because in the midst of two, we talked about this being an art, being rhythm. Everything operates within this aspect of being in rhythm and being an art in order to accomplish things that have to be done. And I do have somewhat of a message this morning, but God was downloading me over here, and I don't have to hit the wall because, I take nuggets, and I love taking nuggets, and every preacher does the same thing. You take these nuggets from when you listen to different things and different people, and you're just like, all of a sudden you can expound upon them, and you open it up, and then God refreshes your memory of what you were talking about before. And I got a lot of different aspects of this thing, but I want to turn, if you got, please, your Bibles to John chapter 4, verse number 7. Because this is something that we covered in the chapters meeting that we had Saturday. They covered this verse. And this is for Mother's Day. I'm going to cover this really quick because, I love mothers. And, hey, my mother was a mother too. Yes, she was. And I guarantee you, your mother was a mother also. We have something in common. you know. But, so everybody, I guarantee you, you know, I don't care. And he said this in the meeting and over the weekend, and I love this aspect because it talked about honoring your mother, honoring your parents that have loved you. And it's easy to do that. But all of a sudden, when he sat there and said, in order to get the generational blessings that are coming down the line, he says, you must respect your parents. It says, honor thy father and thy mother, so that thy days will be long upon the earth. And I'm sitting there thinking, and honestly, you know, like I said, you know, we're talking here right now, you know, when I got into the message, we're just talking. And when he said that, I'm thinking like, okay, now where's he going to go with this? Because not everybody had a good mother. Not everybody had a good father. Not everybody had those parents, but you can literally say, yes, I respect you, you know, and not everybody has that kind of relationship. Then he sits there and he says, look, he says, you don't have to do it because of what they did, but you have to respect them in which the intentions that God had planned them to do. Yes. Oh. I mean, I'm sitting there like, okay, I want to see how he gets out of this, and he says that, I'm thinking like, oh. All of a sudden, the respect comes easier. Because people are going to let you down. But you know what? My hope and my faith is not in the people that I see, but in the God that they have planned intention for them to do. And I'm thinking like, you know, so in order for me to truly, to get the blessings that God had planned from the beginning of the time, for me, to run through the genealogy of my family, because we always talk about the genealogy, the curses, right, that flow. Well, I have diabetes. Why? Because it runs through my family. You know, I have cancer. Why? Because cancer runs through my family, you know. And it's kind of funny because cancer runs strong through my family. So the VA, they want to see me every 3 months. They want to do all these different checks on me all the time because they sit there and they're like, you know, hey, your grandparents, they died of it. Your grandparents on both sides died of it. So, you know, it's just destined. I'm like, whoa. I told my doctor, I sat there and I said, I guarantee you, do my blood work. She said, okay. So she sent me to do a blood work. Come back. He said he wished the whole world would be saved. We know that's, but yet his plan, in which we had. So the fact is in order to receive that which God had planned for our families from the beginning of time, because he was swaying from the beginning of the time, that respect has to be there. And so the fact of it is I want you to, if your mother's still alive today, I want you to call your mother. If she's not alive, talk to her anyway. But I want you to give her respect today. Because believe it or not, because she was a mother at one time. That's right, it will. You want to talk about forgiveness? Yeah. Do I want to go here? Yes. We always talk about forgiveness. Oh, I forgive them. Oh, good God. Oh, good God. The comment that people make, I have to love you. You have to? Yeah, God says I have to love you, so you're lucky I love you today. Who's heard that before, though? How many people said that? I don't like you, but I gotta love you. I'm like, wow, is that not a love statement if I ever heard one? Okay, and the whole reason why love came up today is because we spent the weekend with Silas. And you know Silas, he's one of these, he made the other speakers there uncomfortable. And if you know Silas, you know why. And Silas is not afraid that I say this. He thinks ADHD is a blessing. Okay? He wishes he was lowered down to ADHD. He's just got so much energy, you know. But look at this. The choice to forgive is a point to where I respect what you were trying to do. but didn't achieve where you were going. So in forgiveness comes respect, because I have to respect you in the attempt that God was trying to do, but yet you still were off the mark and hurt me. True forgiveness only comes when we learn to respect the God that's in us. Only true forgiveness comes this way. I don't care if they're lost and they hurt you, because there's still God in them. Because the intention that God had planned for that person is still there. The intention that God had planned for that purpose is still there, because God is in everything. I have to forgive in order to give respect so that I can be re-forgiven by God. Because God knows you made a mistake. Hold on. But He respects what He has done in you to forgive you. So He said there, when God forgives you of your sin, it's not like just because I'm God, I can do it. It's but I respect what I have placed in you. Enough to free you so that you can move on. Because without that forgiveness, you were tied down. Without that forgiveness, you can never obtain what God had perfectly planned for you to be. Lest you forgive, you cannot be forgiven. So yes, please, call your mother. Okay, in John chapter 4, verse number 7, it says this. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus said unto her, Give me a drink. For His disciples were gone away unto the city to the meat. Then saith the woman to Samaria, let's just get numbers number 10. I'm going to hit this. We're going to go on here. I'm just covering for you. Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of Him, and He would have given thee living water. The woman saith unto Him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with. The well is deep. Whence hast thou living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us this well, and drank it thereof himself, and the children, and the cattle? Jesus answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever shall drink of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up unto the everlasting life, without beginning, without an end. Everlasting. Will just spring up to life abundantly, completely. Now, the reason I read this, look at this. And I don't truly believe that Jesus was really thirsty to the point where He was just like, oh, I just need a drink of water. Anybody who comes by, all I need is that drink of water. What I think He was doing was opening up a dialogue. Because what He's trying to prove to the woman, we as people, everyone's heard the story, right? Anybody here not heard the story of the woman at the well? Because if you haven't, I'll continue with the rest of the thing. If not, I'm just going to skip over this. Because everybody knows what happened from this point, right? She talked to Jesus. Jesus sits there and says, Go get thy husband. And she says, Well, I'm not married. He looked at her and says, You're right, but yet you've had 5 husbands before. And everybody focuses in on the aspect of she had all these men before. So what Jesus was telling her was, you need to clean your life up. And I guarantee you, if you can clean that life up, then I'll put this well of water inside you. Jesus wasn't addressing the sin. When He fed the 4,000 and the 5,000, did He say only give it to the people who have repented? Did He only say, did He walk along and says, to the person, well, look, that's fine. If you want to be healed, yeah, but you gotta, then I'll be glad to. We try to focus in on the aspiration of sin so much that because what the problem is we're looking for reasons why she asked the question, where is the living water at? See, we as people are focusing in on the aspiration. Well, there's something that's stopping them from getting this, and it must be sin in between. And so the fact of it is we got to tell them to get their sin out of the way so that they can obtain and grow. We're so caught on doing the job of the Holy Spirit that the fact of it is we are scaring more people away than we are helping. And there's one thing that I learned this weekend from the chaplain seminar was do no harm. Now don't get me wrong, let me tell you, I don't agree with sin. Sin is dirty. Okay, sin is nasty. God doesn't like sin. There is no sin greater than another. I don't care what the sin is, no sin is greater than another sin. Because if you've broken one, you've broken them all. So yes, in order to obtain the closeness, God will fill you to the point to where the sin will come out of you. But what I want to focus in on this is that I have to get rid of that first, because we always try to focus. Every time we think of the woman at the well, we think of Jesus was trying to clean her up. But what Jesus was showing here was this, because he was talking about worship. And worship is not the praise that we do, but it's the honor that we give. And he sits there and he says, look, what you're trying to do is you sit there and say that the woman says, look, we worship here. You Jews, you worship over there. And Jesus is saying, no, look, you're missing the point. He said, because what I've come to do is to bring something that's going to wash all this away to a point to where we can worship in spirit, to the point to where we'll give honor to that which is spiritual, to the point to where you won't have to worry about worshiping in this mountain, it says, or in Jerusalem. You don't have to be under the government of what your mountain is, because mountains in the Bible mean government, okay? It means those governments that are governing in your life. You don't have to be subject to the government that's governing you now, but yet you can be free enough in the spiritual aspect to where you can go in the spirit and worship anywhere. To where you can give that honor, which honor is due. And see, and this is what we're striving for. And we're striving for an aspect. And I'm getting ready to go to this revelation. I'm trying, it's in the back of my mind because it's we're striving for that worship. Turn the AC up just a little bit. I mean, just about 69, what's mine, 69? And people get cold. There you go. And we're starting to get cold in here. I don't feel it. I get warm anyway. So it don't matter. I sweat no matter whether or not it's cold in here, it's 60 degrees or it's 80 degrees. I'll sweat either way. Not as bad as Joel, but I'll sweat. No, Joel's not here yet, but he's here in spirit. Okay. But see, it's that honor in which what he's trying to do. He sits there and says, look, the point of it is what you're doing is you're giving honor to the government that's placed above you. You're giving honor to this aspect in which you're worried about the physical. He says, look, I can give you something that'll go above the physical. I can give you something that's going to well up inside you to the point to where it's going to push out the things you're seeking for. And you realize that everything you're seeking outside has already been inside. And see, and so a good mother is one of these aspects. And see, this is why I should say this because probably going to stone me later anyway. There used to be this saying, and that says there's 3 ways to get things around the world: telephone, telegraph, or telewoman. I think it's funny. I'm sorry. Okay. He laughed. Rod's trying not to laugh, okay? He don't know whether to laugh or not. But but the reason is, look at this. The reason I think Jesus, because you understand, there's so many great women throughout the whole Bible. Okay, Old Testament, Ruth, that the sacrifices that she made in order to achieve what God had planned for her to do. And Esther in the Old Testament. Then you get the New Testament. You got Mary Magdalene, who did some wonderful, great things and prepared Jesus for what he was getting ready to accomplish. And then she was also the first one to see Jesus resurrected back in his original body. She was the first evangelist, I firmly believe. Okay, and then you got Mary, the mother of Jesus, which was fantastic. And you got, there's just so many women. So why would I bring up an unnamed woman in the Bible? Because what Jesus did, he sat there and says, look, I can prepare a fire in Samaria. Start something burning here so that when it actually comes, when the hour, woman, believe me. Verse number 21. It says, Jesus said unto her, woman, believe me. Have faith in me. Understand this. The hour is coming when you shall neither worship here on this mountain, nor yet in Jerusalem worship the Father. Yet worship know what you do not know yet. But we worship for what we do know, because salvation is of the Jews. That's the only reason why they knew it. Head knowledge. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship. So what he was doing was using this woman, unnamed woman, so to the woman that didn't even give her name, saying, I'm going to show you honor enough to where when the worship comes, when the true worship of God's people truly start to flourish, to give honor through the whole Spirit of God, that a fire has already been kindled in Samaria. And I'm using you to do it. Is that not honor shown to that woman? And it's that concept, which is Mother's Day, that we show honor to these women. I don't care what they've done. Because God, he's to the point to where I want to honor the God that's in you to an aspect to where what I'm trying to do for you. Is that not an awesome thing? And go ahead, we must just hear it. Go ahead. No problem. Okay. Now, we got that. Anybody have any questions on that? Because I was sitting there thinking, and I'm talking about honor, talking about all these different things, vibrations and stuff like that. Because we've all heard this, that God operates out of vibration. He operates out of rhythm. Everything is in rhythm with God. And God operates in rhythm. So the fact of it is when your body's sick, okay, it's out of rhythm. Okay, when people who are lost are just out of rhythm with God, that are dancing to a different rhythm, that they're moving in this operation rhythm, that they're not operating with God, because everything is rhythm to God. Light creates rhythm. Inside light is rhythm. And so God operates out of rhythm. It's to a point to where he sits there and he calls it an arc, that it arcs between, that you have two archangels that are standing in the midst, to where they arc in between, to where the presence of God can come down and dwell within the midst of the rhythm. You have to understand, it's in the rhythm in which he does operate within us. The frankincense and myrrh that they carry into the temple, right? Frankincense, they have a rhythm of its own. People have cured cancer with frankincense. It's all natural. They're doing it because what happens is it puts things that are out of rhythm, it puts it back in rhythm. Okay. And okay. In 3 John 1:2 says this. In 3 John 1:2. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayst prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. For rejoice greatly that the brethren came and testified of the truth in thee, even as thou walkest in truth. Now turn into Philippians 3:14. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. Let us therefore, as many and reaching for those things which are before. I press toward the mark for the high calling of God. Now look at this. What he's saying, what the whole thing means is this. He says that what there is the Bible says that we are seated at the right hand of the Father. That when we become saved, we're actually seated, that we are seated in heaven, in heavenly places, to rule and reign with him in heaven. So what happens is, what Paul's saying, that he says it twice here, okay, look at this. He says, not having already obtained it, either we're already perfect, but I follow after that I may apprehend that which has also been apprehended. Okay, of Christ Jesus. So in the anointing, it has already been apprehended. It has already been completed. It's already there. So what happens is that if that's already been obtained, it presses toward the mark. I am here on earth pressing toward the same mark. And it's not to a point to where I am running with anger, but I am running this race to try to complete the aspect. So what that's creating is an arc. To the point, okay, the scripture says this, that my words will not pass away, right? That a whole new heaven, a whole new earth will pass away, but yet my word will remain forever. So what's taking place is that he's not going to do away with it, but the arc in which we have in between us is going to change the atmosphere in which that we're trying to obtain. Abraham was told, he says, number the sands of the sea, and the number of the stars in heaven. Why did he use sand on earth and stars in heaven? He says, because believe it or not, he says, you're here, but when you become saved, you're also here. Which creates that arc for you to affect the things that are in between. And this is what will be on water. Here we go. Anybody? Soul and spirit, right? Paul said this, I want you to prosper, but as your soul prospers. Our soul is more than our mind. Pastors have cheapened the soul to a point to where we say that our mind is what we're trying to fix. I got the mind of Christ. My mind doesn't need to be fixed. Okay? There are two minds within me. Because that creates double-mindedness. Okay? Double-minded man is what? Thank you. So y'all know scripture. You know this, don't you? But look at this. When the sand and the stars combine and press toward the mark, it creates an arc that changes that soul, which creates a full aspiration of you being whole in him. We are seeking after things on this earth to a point to where we're trying to obtain this, that I want to prosper. But if we can truly get our minds to effect to a point to where it takes the arc in order to change that soul to where it will flow through. To me, I understand. You don't mind me. No. Because what we're trying to do is until prosperity. What is prosperity? We cheapen prosperity by saying it is money. It's prosperity is an aspect of change. Prosperity is that which that step that takes. The prosperity is things that follow me, but yet prospering in order to try to achieve the goal in which I have placed within inside of me. The goal, see, we always are searching, and that's what we do in these conferences that we go to, because what we're searching is for this aspect and this thing in which is going to allow me to get to what I'm trying to get. We're getting this knowledge. We're obtaining as much knowledge as we possibly can get. But the problem is emotions and all this other stuff, and the soul that is sitting there is so clogged. It has to do with our conscience, our reason, our imagination, the mind, emotions, choice, will. All that is so clogged that it's so easy to talk about the first aspect. It's so easy to be talking about that earthly aspect of things. But until we can get that soul to fully turn over to a perspective to where it'll start birthing these things out, where it creates two ovaries, two hearts in between God to rebirth that soul. That is where the mind of Christ comes in at, because we have birthed it, because we have 2 points, 2 archangels in between there, to where now the mind and the presence and the rhythm of God can come into the soul and now completely affect everything, to change our will, to change our consequences, to change all the aspects, the reasoning and the emotions, all the imagination. All this has to do with the soul. But when we get to that point to where we're creating the 2 arcs and the rhythm that operates in between those 2 things, that's when the mind of Christ comes fully in. And if we have the mind of Christ, an anointed mind that knew everything, there's nothing we shouldn't know. But see, we're having this issue because the sand wants to stay sand. The stars want to stay stars. And all this in between is begging and groaning to be changed. It's begging. You're going to have those people who are going to be stars. You're going to have those people who are just going to stay earth. It's this arc that happens in between them. It was what he's trying to do. Is if we truly want to apprehend the thing that stops us from obtaining everything that we're supposed to have is our soul. It's easy to generate inside, because we do that by the communion. We do that by allowing God to fill us. The well of water that swells up inside of us is easy to obtain. And every now and then it spurts out. It's easy to do the healing because we have protocol. Protocol works. The Word of God works, but it's not relationship-wise. So the one thing that's stopping us from becoming that which he is trying to obtain in us is that soul level within there. But Paul was saying, I've already obtained it here. So what I'm trying to do is push toward the mark so that we can become perfect and complete once again. So when we're changing, when we're trying to mold this, when we're trying to prosper ourselves here on earth, it comes to this aspect to where we've got to learn to literally set that aside. Okay, that's what we're going to do. This is what it comes down to. It's about respecting that which we can truly operate within the Spirit of God. Those who worship Him must worship Him in the Spirit. But we can never get to that Spirit because our soul is stopping us from fully allowing our spirit to operate. Until we can get to the point. Seminars are great. I feel is where God really fixed me today. Or actually this weekend. I told him, I said, it was really refreshing to be in there. It really was. I got nuggets from these guys. How much you can get from me. And I guess my biggest fear that I always do, and I don't know if anybody has this, and I'm being honest with you. And this was just lies. Words, I tell you, just forget words. Just everybody hear me. I've always needed reassurance. Until recently. I used to, before I preach a message, I would make sure that somebody else was preaching the same thing. Because I didn't want to be wrong. And so I'd wait for somebody else to preach it, and then, okay, that sounds good. Boom. Now I was good to go. But what he's trying to do in us is he's trying to create that arc from there to here. From here to there. Because he's ready to birth things on this earth. Not old things, not things that used to be, not the way things used to be. But what he's trying to do is create the arc, create the rhythm in which we're going to change the world. And we ain't going to do that. You understand how I say this for y'all Southern people? We ain't going to do that by worrying on whether or not we're going to do something wrong. Jesus was changing Samaria by what appeared to be wrong at the time. But he sat there and said, there's something more important for me to do than to worry about whether I'm right or wrong. There's things that get ready to take place because I'm tired of doing the same thing. I really am. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to change. I'm ready to be effective. I haven't apprehended this. I haven't learned fully. I'm learning this. God's teaching me as I'm stepping into it, as we're going, because this is what we're trying to do. I'm trying to a point to where I'm showing you that, believe it or not, we've already apprehended, we've already gained it, we've already got it here. It's already there inside of us, ready to be expelled out of us. He's ready to change us to a point to where, yes, we will look like him, to a point to where, not as he was, but as he is. He is trying to change us to a point to where it's no longer asking questions, but to a point to where I can't wait to see what the next step is. I don't have to explain. I can forget. Paul said this, I'm forgetting those things which are behind me. We always think those things as being sin. He says, no. He said, the old blessings of God that he already done, I'm forgetting those things. Because I'm pressing towards something that's even going to be greater than what he had me do already. You think going to heaven is something special? He said, I've already done that. And I'm not even perfect yet. I haven't even fully obtained the growth that I'm supposed to have. It's not even full yet. And he told him, he kept saying, prepare for the day because the day is at hand, so that when we can push it through our soul to the point to where now we will meet together on the mark and watch the ark just explode. Because what happens is when we get to that rhythm that's around us, we change the atmosphere in which we're at. We affect. And it's more than just doing good deeds. I'm so sick and tired of hearing people, well, we just do good deeds. We just do good deeds. I'm being good this week. I'm doing what God told me. I'm being good. I'm ready for something God's getting ready to do in the midst of people who are ready to change. The reason he asked that woman, give me to drink, because he knew she was hungry for something other than keeping doing the same thing, coming back to the same water, coming back to the same water, coming back to the same water. He knew, he sits there and says, now give me the drink, because I'm about ready to change how you operate. No longer are you going from what your fathers drank of, but I'm getting ready to change in what you wanted to drink of, to the point where you'll never thirst again. And to prove it, when the disciples came back, he said, here, eat this. He says, no, I'm already full, thank you. I've already ate. That's what this Mother's Day can be. It's time for us to start birthing things, changing the way. Y'all don't like this too. Now, end with this. When a woman gives birth, her whole body changes. Right? The emotions change, the body changes, not just the belly, the whole body changes. When we start giving birth, when we start creating the aspect of what we're trying to do, our body will change to adapt to that new thing. Amen. Not that which will pass away, but that which will be for everlasting life. Because it has no beginning and it has no end. Right? What's that?